So I was thinking about a topic for my presentation the other day, and I thought to myself, I've had more than 3 weeks to work on this project. And then I also thought, if I had worked on this project in the last 3 weeks, could I have already finished it by now? And if I did finish it, would I have to be stressing about it now to do it? And the simple answer to that is no. Because of the simple answer, I thought my time would best be spent talking about why we procrastinate, and if there are any things that we can do to stop ourselves from procrastinating. I've dedicated most of the school year to try to get ahead of the game in terms of homework, projects, and schoolwork in general. Here I have a chart that explains exactly how my efforts have gone so far. So as you can see, I've made lots of progress so far. Anyways, on a more serious note, why do people procrastinate? Everyone does it. 80% of high school students have reported that they procrastinate on school assignments. In college, the amount of students that procrastinate goes up to 88%. An even larger 92% of college males report to have procrastinated on any assignment. This is an insanely large amount of people who are wasting their time watching TV or browsing the internet when they could be spending their time doing more productive things like finding X on a triangle. There are many reasons why I personally procrastinate, but two of the main ones are because I lack interest in the topic or I lack the skills to do the task at hand. For example, the other day I was over at my friend's house doing some calculus homework and I was internally screaming at this textbook because it might as well have had Arabic written all over it. Basically, I had not a clue what it was asking me, and if I did, then I would not know the first place to start. Even if we don't admit it, all of us have had this situation happen to us at least once before. But many people react to it differently than others. For example, some people will kick it into high gear, they'll pull out the textbook, pull out the internet, pull out everything that they can in their arsenal to try to learn everything on the go. For me, and what I did in this situation, is I sat there and I said, listen, I'm going home, I'm packing up my stuff, I will do this later. In this example, I was lacking the skills necessary to do this assignment, so I put it off until later. And this is a very common procrastination method upon students, is just they don't know what they're doing, so they just leave it to later. But what about an assignment that's outside of schools? For example, something that is in your work or your job or your chores around the house. The other reason that I personally procrastinate is because I have a lack of interest in the topic. An example of this presented itself the other day when my mother asked me if I wanted to go shopping for the earbuds that I need. I told her that I'd go shopping for them later. The reason why I didn't go right then and there wasn't because I was an antisocial hermit. Rather, it was because I had a personal project at home that I'd rather be working on rather than wandering out in a store all day long. I'm procrastinating the fact that I need to go shopping for new earbuds because I have something much more interesting at home to do. This can apply to schoolwork when you're watching a video on YouTube that has something to do with some new hairstyle that's out there, rather than trying to find the hypotenuse of that triangle. So I've explained the reasons that I procrastinate personally, sure, but how can I fix my procrastination? This isn't going to be some switch that I magically flip on the back of my head and bam, I'm a working machine, I have a work ethic of a god. No, this is going to be lots of little small things that I can do here and there in my life that will remind me of what I need to do. I find the best way for me not to procrastinate is to constantly remind myself of the task that I need to do. Whether this is through friendly reminders or guilt trips that make me do this, I make sure that I am constantly reminded of the fact that I have something to do. My personal favorite way of reminding myself to do a task is through my calendar. And I don't just hit the button that makes the event renew every single day at the exact same time. Rather, I put in the calendar every single day of the next day I need to do this, and I have this due date on this exact time. My second favorite method of reminding myself to do something is through guilt tripping. And this can be as simple as setting a reminder before you hang out with friends, saying something as simple as, that triangle isn't going to find the hypotenuse of itself. I hope that this presentation has not only shown the negative effects of procrastination, but it also shows you how you can help yourself get away from procrastination and make yourself someone that your group members can actually count on. Thank you.